I'm at the Storyhouse in Chester, where last night I was fortunate enough to see the opening night of Evita. I'm joined today by Madalena Alberto, who's playing Eva Peron. Madalena, thank you very much for taking time out of your schedule to join us.
Thank you for having me.
Can I ask you, this is the third time I think that you've played this role, isn't it? Or is it the second?
I'm not sure. I first played it about 4 years ago. I did a UK tour. And then I was very fortunate that we took it to the Dominion Theatre.
That's right, in the
London.
West End, yes.
And then I didn't do the show for about 3 years. I was doing other shows, and then I was enticed to come back and have the opportunity to play this amazing role again, and I'm having the greatest time.
Yeah, I came with very high expectations. I saw this show years and years ago in the West End when it was first produced, and I have to say I was not disappointed at all. It exceeded all my expectations. Although I believe we were talking off camera a moment ago, and you had one or two technical issues with a power cut.
On a tour, because we move venues all the time, we have to get used to the new space and the new settings, and this company has been amazing, and actually we've never had a show stop. We've never had major technical issues, and last night we had one particular one at the best place ever, which was during Don't Cry For Me Argentina, and it was as soon as I walked on stage, we had a power cut backstage, but the follow spot still worked. So the audience would have never noticed. They
we
probably
didn't.
Thought it was, and then the lights came back up at the perfect moment when the song was about to finish. So it's the magic of the theatre.
Yeah, Eva Peron, she's iconic. How does it feel to actually be performing in that role?
Well, when I first did it, because I come from Portugal, I don't have a history of musical theatre in my life, so I wasn't quite sure what I was in for.
Yeah.
I think it was after I started performing and started getting reviews and things like that I realized that this is a huge deal. And so I try not to think about it too much. I try, first of all, not to compare myself to previous ladies who have done it, because they're incredible singers, incredible performers. And when I first did it, I saw one video on YouTube, and it was a big mistake. Patti LuPone singing New Argentina, and I was like, there's no way I'm going to do this. Yeah. So I had to forget all that and just look at the score and see how it felt in my voice, and obviously after so long of doing it, you do find a way of making it your own vocally.
Of course.
And I was very privileged to be in this company. They were very welcoming for me to come up with certain ideas about it, or certain things that would come up spontaneously, and they would ask me to keep them. So it was a very wonderful process, and I don't feel that nervous anymore. I mean,
no, that's great.
I feel sad to think that, that there's so few opportunities for me to play this role. I mean, I came back, but I don't know if I'll be able to come back again. Mm-hmm. So I'm just trying to cherish it as much as
So you've got a real connection for it. I mean, how much research did you have to do into Eva Peron's life?
Yeah, I did do some research. I read 2 books. One of them supposedly written by her, which is we're not sure. And I did watch a lot of Argentinian documentaries, because I wanted to see a little bit about her from their side and from the people who were in love with her and still are. Because the show was written in a particular way. We have Che as a narrator who's quite cynical towards her. And there's so many different sides to the story, but I felt that as an actress I needed to find her vulnerable places. I needed to find where I could connect to her as a person, and no matter what might have happened, I wasn't there, I don't know. Yeah. But to see her as a human being who just wanted to be loved and wanted to do what she thought was the best for herself and for the country, and so it was very helpful to read some stuff. But also, as an actor, it's important to, once you do that, you walk into the rehearsal room and you can let everything go. And just, listen to the script and listen to what the director has to say, and then hopefully things that you might have read will come.
Of course. How demanding is it on you? I mean, it's a long performance. You're actually on stage for the best part of 2 hours. And you're singing at the top of your voice for that time, and you've got the choreography to manage as well. And I counted something like 30-odd costume changes.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it's very demanding. It's very vocally challenging. I mean, especially at the time when this was written. I think this is the first female role that was so demanding, with so many different vocal qualities and a lot of belting, but a lot of sort of more operatic. This is a rock opera. So it's very, very demanding vocally. But one thing is just sing the score, another thing is actually having to go through this journey, beginning to end, and I think that's what makes it more tiring.
But you're obviously connecting with the music and the lyrics very well, because the emotion that comes out, particularly through Don't Cry For Me, Argentina, and then later on when you're in the hospital scene and she's approaching the end of her life, I don't mind admitting I had tears in my eyes because the emotion that you carried through was incredible. It was amazing.
I think that probably comes from finding those places where the audience can enjoy watching her, because if we just play her as someone who might have been a horrible person, then nobody cares that she dies. So it is finding those moments where the audience can connect and the audience can feel that she's vulnerable. And I have to say I'm very, very lucky, because I think this is the only production at the moment that has You Must Love Me where it is.
Yes.
Obviously the original version didn't exist, and then it came in the movie, which was, I believe, where it is in our production. But in other productions it comes in a different place. And so for me as an actress, it's a big gift, because it does sort of follow through a big journey. And the moment, I think for me, my favorite moment is just seeing these two people who are so powerful, completely naked of anything, of any hope, and just two human beings in complete despair of what's going to happen next.
Yeah. It's quite a long tour you're on, isn't it? You're in Chester all of this week, so you finish in Chester on, I think it's... On Saturday, the 21st of April. You've got a couple of matinees to do, one today, and there's another one tomorrow, is it?
And Saturday.
And then the rest are evening performances. Where do you go to after Chester?
So we're going to go to Bradford, and then we're going to do something very special. We're going to go to Italy, to Turin.
Wow.
And we're going to be performing this show live with the symphonic orchestra, which has never been done before.
That's incredible.
So that will be very, very exciting. And then we have 3 other dates in England, in the UK. We've got Glasgow, Newcastle, and Grimsby. And that will be it for me.
Really?
Yeah.
So that's going to be quite sad.
It's going to be very difficult.
Because you really have made the part your own, haven't you? I mean, you've developed it. You're being very honest about the life of Eva Peron, but actually you've made the role yours.
Yeah, and I also feel that coming back after 3 years and feeling a bit more mature, and all the work I've done through these 3 years, see how that pans out now when I'm performing, and I see such a big difference in myself and my performance and my voice and the way I am, and I'm enjoying it so much. It will be difficult to say no, but it is a very intense role, and it's good for me to go and do other things, and who knows, maybe in the future I get to.
Just before we finish, how demanding is the choreography? Because you're moving all over, and it's not just moving around the stage. You're up and down stairs. There's a lot of quick movement. You're concentrating on the emotion that's coming out through your voice in the lyrics. I mean, that must be really demanding.
It is. I was trained as a dancer.
Oh, okay.
When I first trained. So, but I've never wanted to be a dancer, and I've hardly ever had to dance in shows, and I'm very happy for that. And here, in terms of dance moves, I only have a little bit in Buenos Aires. So for the rest of the cast is very demanding, very precise, and they do an amazing job. But there is that whole physicality that you say throughout. I mean, every time I go off stage, I go downstairs, I have to get changed in a few seconds and then come backstairs. But I think it just becomes part of it. I don't even think about it anymore.
No,
it becomes part of your track and your journey.
That's brilliant. Madalena, thank you so much for coming to talk to me. It's been absolutely beautiful to meet you. I think the performance is wonderful. I think you've got a fantastic show. Enjoy the rest of it.
Thank you so much. I will.
And you're going to be missed when you exit in a few months' time. But thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
I've thoroughly enjoyed talking to Madalena today, and would like to thank the entire company for their hospitality. One special point of mention is the youngsters that appear in the show. They're all from Stagecoach in Chester. Remember, if you want to see Evita, it runs until the 21st of April at the Storyhouse. That's this coming Saturday is the final performance. Book the tickets early, contact the Storyhouse, seats are selling fast. This is Mike Sowden, reporting from the Storyhouse, Chester.